Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Cheyenne, and today I'm bringing you a clean girl makeup look which is really popular right now. Please ignore this dark spot on my face. I always break out right before I do a video and it's so annoying. I'm going to quickly jump into the video and I'm going to conceal any dark mark or hyperpigmentation that I have around my face. And this is going to help when I put my foundation on so that everything is like the same shade. I'm going to let it dry down just a bit and then I'm going to take my makeup sponge and start blending that in. I won't be blending it completely into my skin, but just tapping it just slightly so that it's not so bright. And then I'm gonna go in with my foundation. As you can see here, I'm also putting the foundation under my eyes like a concealer. This is because for the clean girl makeup look, you don't want it to be like super cakey. So I'm trying to put foundation as the first sort of layer under my eyes. That way I won't need to use as much concealer. After that, I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to start blending out the foundation in a tapping motion. Quick side note, am I the only one that struggles with smile lines? I haven't yet found a remedy for this. The only thing I've been doing is just making sure I don't put as much product in that area. But other than that, I find them so like I can't avoid them. If you guys have any tips, let me know down below. Next, I'm going to grab my sponge and blend out the foundation like a concealer. And as you can see, it's giving me coverage, which is going to really be helpful. So I won't need to use as much concealer when it's time to conceal. I'll also drag that foundation over my eyelid. I'm not going to be using any eyeshadow or anything like that. So this is the only thing I'm going to be using on my eyelids. This is how the foundation looks when it's all blended out. It's not super high coverage, but it does give a really good base to follow up with your concealer. As you can see here, very minimal concealer application. I'm going to do, like really next to my nose and then towards the end of my eye. I'm also going to be highlighting the bottom of my cheekbones, and this is like a reverse contour sort of thing. Basically, instead of putting the dark contour color, you're going to put a light color underneath where the contour would be, and this gives the illusion of a more contoured face. And you're going to see it here. I sort of drag it out and then I blend upwards. Because I'm using very little concealer, I'm sort of concentrating it right in the area where I applied it and then dragging it out towards the corner for a more lifted appearance. And to set my concealer, I am using this powder. Now, as you can see, this brush, one has some blush on one side and then some powder on the other side. That's what I get from letting my friends borrow my brushes. I'm looking at you, Elise. And they use any brush for anything, and now my powder brush has blush on it. Anyways, applying light layers of powder. Because you want this to be super natural, you don't want to bake necessarily, so I'm just going in with multiple layers of a light application of powder just to make sure everything is super set into place. And you'll know you're getting to too much powder when you start to see it, like how you can see it there, and that indicates that it's enough, and like that's the last layer of powder that I'm applying. I'm also applying extra powder to these two areas of my face because they tend to lose concealer the fastest. I think it's actually because of when I wear a mask. Moving on, I'm going to apply a skin color powder generously all over my face with a big powder brush. Then I'm going to take my powder puff. Ever since I started using this powder puff, my makeup sets so nicely. Like any powder puff, there's just something that it does when you're using powders especially, and you just press this into your skin is going to look so flawless and so smooth as opposed to just using a powder brush. I'm also going to powder my eyebrows just so that I get easier application when I start using my brow products. Also, is it weird that I do my brows after my base? My friends say it's weird, but it's the only way in my eyes that's correct. So let me know in the comments as well. I'm going to set the reverse contour with my highlighting powder and then move on to brows. For brows, I'm going to be using this brow pencil. It has a thin side and a thick side. I use the thin side to basically draw these small hair-like strokes throughout the brow and just keep on filling it in until I'm happy with it. I first start off with the front of the brows, and then I switch to the fat side of the pencil and then draw the tails of the brows. As you guys can see, I do not have a tail of a brow. Like, it's missing because I cut it off, but yeah. Then I go in with concealer to clean up the brow. And that's how the brows are looking. I go ahead and wipe off the excess powder in sort of like a sweeping and dabbing motion, just so that everything is seamlessly blended. And then I'm gonna go into my favorite part, which is the blush. I love blush so much, and I actually love this color. I got a new color from the NYX blush mousses. Love this color. By the way, all products are gonna be listed in the description if I haven't yet said that. Blending this in one layer, and then that's not enough because for a clean girl makeup look you need a lot of blush, so I'm gonna go in with a bit more on each side and blend that out as well. I'm going to be using my powder puff to basically go over my face and make sure that the highlight and the blush and the foundation and everything is just blended seamlessly together. And this powder puff really helps me achieve that. Over here, what you're seeing me do is apply that really light powder that I had used to set my concealer and applying that on my brow bone. That's just going to give me a really natural highlight. Then I'm going to be contouring my nose. Again, I'm only just going to use a brush. I'm not going to have super harsh lines because I want it to be super blended and seamless. Then I'm going to line my lips. I tried to use a liner that's not that dark because you don't want to have a really dramatic lip. I'm just lining it with a light brown pencil and then going in with a clear gloss, then setting my whole face and drying it down. When setting your whole face, try and use a setting spray that isn't matte, by the way. Then I'm going in with my mascara. I have lash extensions, but normally I would just use mascara on all my lashes. I'm just using it on the bottom lashes, and I mix 2 mascaras together, and it makes this amazing result. Like, my lashes are so thick and extended, and then I dry that as well. Once I'm done, I just pass over the powder puff one last time. Now for the hair, you guys know that clean girls have low buns, not high buns, so I switched it, and this is how the makeup is looking. I also wanted to show you guys how the makeup looks in natural light with no, professional lighting or whatever, just as real as it gets. This is how the makeup was looking, blended, period. Okay, blended. I was really happy with how the makeup turned out. I also fixed the bun because I know the clean girls have the small buns, so I went ahead and did that, and yes, this is it.